Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I just got a notification that my sponsor, Link2, for the next 48 hours is they're lowering their minimum investment to $2,500. So I think it's on just about everything on their platform. Normally you have to invest at least $5,000 or $10,000, I think. 48 hours you can go in and just buy $2,500 worth if you want to. All right, check this out. The BRICS is considering a stable coin for international trade settlements. A group of commodity-driven countries is considering launching a stable coin as they continue to stockpile gold. Don't think too hard about how this ends. Folks, it's very obvious how this ends. They accumulate gold while they take advantage of the precious metals prices being manipulated down for decades. They accumulate it knowing that there's a financial reset coming. In my opinion, they probably set the price of gold in the end to what it's really worth, and it's not showing what it's really worth. Make no mistake about that. JP Morgan's been manipulating it. No telling who's been helping the US government manipulate this for all these decades. So it's very obvious. So the second one of these countries comes up with a stable coin that's backed by these commodities, that's game over, folks, because everybody will have to do it. Nobody will want to beat anything else. We made an analysis, Dark Defender, we made an analysis for gold. Orange line, expected path versus the green line actual. Many expect gold to plunge even towards $1,300, but gold has already touched $2,431. Our targets are $2,813 and $3,333 per ounce. By the way, if you go to milesfranklin.com and you go and top right click sign up, you can use the referral code DAI Gold for the best prices. Go check it out. That's where I buy my gold. All right, and then we've got this XRP. I like these because this is one of the chartist type people who is a Bitcoin maxi, and when they say something good about XRP, I pay attention if they've got a significant following. XRP is currently at a level that initiates an explosive rally. Stay tuned. Now here's an interesting clip. This is this is from I think Edo Farina, and then you also have his name is so long, but it's James. It's Crypto 4. They didn't put it in here. Actually, let's see if this was his channel.
What I find
No, that they did it from Edo Farina's channel. But anyway, it's one of the guys from Black Swan Capitalist as well. Listen to this.
What I find also very interesting is how this ties into like the XRP price. When the precious metals market was moving, it made more sense that we're going to war. And this is because our debt is unsustainable and they need to print more money, which is going to, of course, debase the currency further, widen that wealth gap. And this is, again, why central banks all over the world are buying gold, because they are looking to position themselves and hedge against the imminent collapse of the US dollar's hegemony, not necessarily the US dollar. But the end game has always been to reset the gold price and digitize it onto a blockchain node for speed, transparency, scalability, environmentally. So it's not hard to see what's going on here. What I find also very interesting is how this ties into like the XRP price. Many people, I think, don't understand still what it means if Ripple is building stablecoins too, and the digital asset XRP is designed to move that value. So that means that the digital asset was designed for infinite scalability, and that means there really is no limitation to its price later on down the road. Right. But as it becomes like universally adopted, and that's what we see happening, accepted, extensively used, which it will be eventually, at some point later on down the road, since it's riding on those rails, the protocol, which leverages XRP to move the value and set the rules for all transactions, it does at some point absorb all the money in the circulation, and therefore that improves its liquidity, and that's what naturally drives the price higher.
There you go. And then this is a cool clip from Ray Dalio, the billionaire from Bridgewater.
Great. Hi, thank you for your time. My question is, do you believe there's an actual currency currently challenging the US dollar as the global currency? And if yes, which one would that be? Is there any realistic heir to the throne?
No. I think we are entering an era where all currencies are going to be bad. And it's an ugly contest. In other words, is it the euro? Is it the yen? Is it the renminbi? Okay. Is it gold? Gold is a currency. Is it Bitcoin? Okay. There's going to be a void, in my opinion, because of this nature of this debt. Debt is currency. If you're holding a currency, you're holding a debt instrument. And so, given the dynamic that we talked about, we have a debt problem, I believe, here. And so the question is, what is an alternative? A currency is a medium of exchange or a storehold of wealth. I think the dollar will remain a medium of exchange, but it won't be effective as a storehold of wealth. And so that's where we think, okay, what are the elements of a storehold of wealth? Well, one of the elements of a storehold of wealth is that you have to be able to transfer it to somebody in another country who will accept it. So it's got to move around, okay? So it's not a storehold, a currency is not real estate. Oh, so how do you and what will be accepted all around the world so that is what the question is going to be, I think. I think gold will stand as the best of that, but Bitcoin and others are going to, what are their issues? And we will be in a void as to what that is, because the basic problem is that you can't trust central bankers. I mean, they're all in a bind. They all have too much debt. They all have that bind. So who's going to withstand it? They compete with each other. When one devalues, if the dollar devalues, the others are going to want to devalue because they're going to be uncompetitive. So I think that's the nature of our circumstances.
Very interesting where we're at in this world. Okay, Bill Morgan, I was looking at the figures just yesterday, and locked XRP was about 2.7 million. This is the AMM pools. Has increased big time in the last day or so. Now it's at 3.7 million. This thing is going to increase over time, but the digital asset investor will be staying away from this. I'm not diving right in with my XRP. I'm going to sit back and watch for a while, because that's what I do when any kind of new anything comes about, because there's a thing called beta, and that's when the bad stuff happens. I want to make sure nothing bad happens. All right, Brian Kelly on the Bitcoin halving.
That's a lot of pent-up demand.
What about with the ETFs? How does that change the game now? Because last halving, we didn't have ETFs.
That's right. And I think actually it changes tremendously. That's why Morgan Stanley and UBS are so important, because up to this point, they have not been able to buy those ETFs. Their clients haven't been able to buy it. So if you think about it, you now has an asset with the most demand it's ever going to have, right? You've got all these people just able to come on, and supply has been cut. Coins on exchange are down, so you're having a whole bunch of pent-up and potential demand hitting lower supply. To me, that's the bullish setup for Bitcoin.
Now, just as a reminder, Brian Kelly used to understand back in 2017-18, he and CNBC totally understood XRP. Something or someone got them to somehow forget all about the significance of XRP.
So is Ripple the next big breakout coin? And if so, how do you even buy it? Well, fear not, because our very own crypto baller, BK, is here to tell us exactly how to do just that.
I just wanted to show it to you.
Yeah, sure. So Ripple has been on an absolute tear. And just to add to what Seema talked about, what Ripple really is going after is the SWIFT network, or international payment transfer. So what you're talking about here is an upgrade of the international financial system. And that's a very big market. So that's why people are very excited about it. So let's go to Poloniex and figure out, how do we buy this here? So here I am. I'm on the Polonia.
Did a whole course on how to buy it, and now they act like they don't even know anything about it. Now I ask you folks, is this a joke? I have literally walked into one of these. This is one of those shipping containers that they have created. There's been companies that have turned these into Bitcoin mining operations. I walked into one at I think it was Bitcoin Miami conference, and I remember coming out of the thing and look, I was with Nick Durafato, and I remember saying, you got to be kidding me. Why in the world would you build a financial system around this when you don't even need it? It's a joke. It's got to be a joke. Just one big, huge waste. You literally don't need anything that you're looking at to have all this decentralization and stuff that they say that they're accomplishing with all this. You don't need any of it, and they know it. That's the crazy part. Stuart Alderati, in Gensler's first 3 years as SEC chair, the agency has been sued for abusing its rulemaking powers more times than the SEC was sued in prior 10 years, spanning the tenure of 3 long-serving chairs combined. Unbelievable. Now, someone found something in the Ripple's recent motion, and it points to, well, actually, the whole reason I formed DAIXRP.com was because there are certain things that if I talk about them out here, YouTube would censor me. So in DAIXRP.com today, the reason I formed my Patreon group is at DAIXRP.com is because of that reason right there. If I show certain things on YouTube, I'm worried about being censored. And that's the fact, Jack. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family. Censorship is real. So in DAIXRP.com, I'm going to show you we're going to show you just how corrupt all this thing is with this debt box thing is a joke compared to ETHgate. Total joke. And I'm going to show you what came out of those Ripple documents that really puts you right over the target. Here we go.